What's up guys, how we all doing? Welcome to vlog number, I don't know what number it is to be honest, but yeah, we are back for another week. It is currently Wednesday the 4th of March, and we are headed to the gym for the final leg session before the deload. So after today I'm gonna have 4 days off training completely. It's just time, it's due. I'm due a little rest, so we shall do just that. And tonight I thought I would take you guys through this leg workout because I just don't have any more time in the gym before I will be uploading this video. Well, I will be, doing cardio and stuff, but that's not all that exciting. And I don't even go to the gym for that, I just do it on the bike. So yeah, I think I'll just do this leg session for this video, and then we will obviously reconvene in another week's time. So where are we at? This morning we had our lowest weigh-in of the prep, 175 pounds flat, and yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling ready to have a few days off, but I'm also feeling as if my body is starting to kind of churn a little bit in terms of the changes that are occurring week in, week out. Things are happening a little bit faster now, and yeah, I'm just enjoying prep. I am feeling a lot better than I was last week about everything really, and I'm just excited to see kind of where we end up with this whole prep thing. Obviously now, like, I still haven't picked, but probably 10-12 weeks out, somewhere around there. So things are heating up, things are for sure heating up. Food is at the lowest it's been. We have removed my high day and we're just running regular kind of training day and non-training day food at the moment, which is around 2,200 calories on the training day and around 1,800 calories, 1,700-1,800 calories on a rest day. So pretty low, and I mean, well, I say that, it's not low, like it's not that low. Last prep at a few weeks out I was eating like 900 calories a day, so this is, very different to that, and I appreciate that. Like, I'm not, absolutely dying yet, which is good, but I am starting to feel a bit hungry, starting to feel a bit tired, and all of that good stuff that comes with prep. So we have decided obviously to have a few days off, and then kind of put the foot on the gas from Monday in terms of getting this this physique lean. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, plan of attack for tonight, absolutely destroy myself, because obviously it's my last session before a few days off, so why wouldn't I do that? Sets added to pretty much all movements. I'm going to be doing a bit of a combination of legs and arms because I ran out of time for arms a little bit last night. So I'm going to do 4 to 5 movements for legs, 3 sets of each, and I'm going to do 4 movements for arms. I'm going to do a movement for abs, and yeah, that'll probably be the workout. Quite a lot of volume, but I mean, last one, I want to absolutely annihilate myself. I've had a scoop of Menace from Naughty Boy, cherry something flavour, and I'm ready to hit the hamstring curl. Well, actually, I'm gonna do some abs first, but I'll not film abs because it's just boring, isn't it? Ab training is pretty boring to watch, and I just want to get into the workout as fast as possible, really. So I'll get through my ab training, and we shall see where we're at. Probably start off with some hamstring curls, jump into some leg extensions, hack squat, leg press, depending on time, maybe a hip thrust, and then arms for the rest of the session. which I'm excited about. I'm excited to get a bit of a pump. I feel like I have the ability to get a pump today. Sometimes when you're on prep, you don't really have the ability to get a pump as much. So whenever you do have that feeling there, like you know it's going to be a good session. You know it's going to be a good session if you can get a pump. So that being said, let's get to the gym. But also, little update, you could say. The second job that I said in the last video that I was going to be doing, I am not going to be doing that anymore. I kind of decided that my time is worth a little bit more than that, and my time is quite precious right now with everything else that I'm doing. So I do feel that it is important to prioritize things that are actually, you know, important to me, such as my degree, my clients, and my business. So I'm going to be doing that on weekends instead, and just kind of going from there. I have also decided to start doing some courses, so I'm going to be doing some courses as well, just to improve my coaching as a whole, really, and possibly do some work in gyms as well. So I'm excited for that, but I'm still kind of working out the companies and pricing and stuff like that. So I'm still sort of in contact with those companies and coming to an agreement for which course I go for. So I will update you guys when I start that. But for now, just working on my degree. I am pretty stressed out about enzyme kinetics, if I'm honest, but I'll not get into that here because it's a relatively niche subject matter that I doubt most of you will care about, really. But yeah, enzyme kinetics assessment coming up next week. I've got a microbiology assessment where I basically grew a bacteria. I grew an unknown bacteria in the lab, and I performed some tests on it, and I've got the results of those tests, but what I don't have is the identity of the bacteria, so I need to work out what it is for an assessment. So I've got that coming up as well. I then have a reflective essay coming up on what it basically means to be a biomedical scientist, and I also have a biochemistry exam and a microbiology exam in May time. So over the next few months, quite a lot of coursework coming out from uni, but I mean, you know, can't complain. You have to do these things to get the qualification, right? And then once you do that, then you can progress, and that's what I want to do. I want to be a scientist slash coach slash trainer kind of hybrid, and you could say a career hybrid. Not a hybrid athlete, no, I'm just a bodybuilder, but I'm a hybrid career guy, because yeah, I actually down the line I want to amalgamate, bring together all of my careers, and create something a little bit different that involves the biomedical science side of things, and Megan can bring her medical expertise in terms of kind of what she does, which is works with women and sort of managing hormones, pregnancy, things like that. And I want to amalgamate that with fitness and create something new, but I haven't, worked out the logistics yet, and I obviously need to get my degree first. So that'll be the first port of call. Get the science degree out of the way, and then create something that, is a bit new and a bit different for me and Megan to work away at, whether that be education, whether that be some sort of clinic, whether that be some sort of lab. Who would know? It's all down the line. But for right now, I'll just focus on doing what I'm doing, getting chased around this car park by these cars who are all looking for spaces, because Ultraflex is clearly the place to go, even though there's a very enthralling looking cycle spin class going on in the leisure centre that I've just seen. There's 4 people in it, so yeah, that would be possibly better than the leg annihilation that you guys are about to watch. But yeah, we're at the gym now, and I'm just rambling on because I just don't know where to park. I think I'm gonna have to parallel park. I am. So let's give this shiznit a go, and see how we get on. I'm alright at parallel parking. Watch me crash now. We shall see. But normally I'm pretty okay with it. I just don't know about whilst I'm trying to focus on parallel parking and talking to the camera, how that will go. But yeah, we've done it pretty easily. So I'm in the space, and I am now parked up and ready to head into the gym. So a little bit more on what I was saying earlier. I am not working the weekend job anymore, focusing on me. My time is worth more than what that would have got me, and you know, it's time to just throw my head solely and completely into prep, into my business, into my degree, into my relationship, into my training, into my education, all of that, and just improve as a person. And that's what it's really all about. Improve every day, that little percentage every day, and in 6 months time, who the heck knows where you're going to be? Who the heck knows? That being said, it's time to get my ass in the gym and destroy my lower body for the next roughly 2 hours. Hopefully I can get out by 9:30 tonight. There's absolutely no chance, but I tell myself that every single night. And then, you know, maybe one day it'll be true where I actually get out of the gym by 9:30, but it's more often than not 10 p.m. So guys, we'll catch you at the hamstring curl, and yeah, let's get into this shit. Let's go. Just broke that. Fuck. So guys, I'm gonna do a little voiceover for this session because I don't want to get copyrighted, but I'm gonna do it in one take because I'm headed to work. So I hope there's not many mistakes, but please forgive me if I do stumble over my words, because that is normally the case whenever it comes to these kind of things. So we got into the gym last night. I started off, as I said, hamstring curl. I did some abs first and a little bit of a warm up on the cross trainer, just to kind of get me raring to go for the leg session. And then we got into this, which is seated hamstring curl from Prime. Now, I really like this machine. It's probably one of my favorite seated hamstring curls that I've ever used, because you can adjust the resistance profile and you can also set it up. There's so many different options of ways to set this machine up, but I think I've found the kind of right formula for me. So definitely sticking within the sort of 3 sets per exercise last night, and this morning my legs are absolutely cooked. So I did 3 sets on here. I think I've only put in 2 in the recording, but throughout these sets I'm kind of just focusing on getting a little pause in at both ends of the range and ensuring that I get the maximum range of motion that I can, because I think for hamstrings that's something that's very important. I kind of treat my hamstrings as if they're biceps because they kind of function the same. So I try and get a bit of a good stretch, get a little pause at both ends of the range, maybe not doing it as much here in this set. You'll see there that I'm kind of trying to get comfortable in the machine. I do like to ensure that I'm holding the handles on seated hamstring curls at all times. It's just about force production really. The more stable and set you are in a position, the more force you're going to be able to produce. And that's what we're trying to do here, produce maximum force so that we can produce maximum strength and output. On here, I normally set it up on setting 1 for the first set and then setting 5. So setting 1 is loaded in the mid-range. It's similar to most normal machines. And then setting 5 is loaded in the beginning and mid-range. But because I did a 3rd set, and I believe this is the 3rd set, I had it loaded in number 3, which is just the beginning range. And we know that whenever we are getting more fatigued throughout adding more sets on, we are strongest in the beginning range.
and weakest in the end range. So I do kind of follow that pattern with prime machines throughout this session. Well, I mean, there is only these two machines from prime in this part of the leg session, so I do follow that pattern you'll see here. I think this was the first set, I'm not entirely sure, but it's probably on setting 1, and then I think this clip after is the last set on setting 3. But yeah, leg extension, I like to sit back a little bit here. I feel like it kind of allows me to get maximum range of motion out of this machine. So a little bit further back than I would say most people would sit on a leg extension. And you'll also see that I'm strapped into the machine. Again, it's about force production. It's about making yourself as stable as possible. Then you can put out the maximum amount of force and basically lift the maximum amount of weight. And on the second set here, I did stack the machine. I haven't put it in the video because my head was cut off in the video. My head is not in the frame, but yeah, this is, I'm not sure what weight this is, to be fair, but I can go pretty heavy with these kind of things that I'm doing to allow me to just be more stable, and then I get a lot more out of the movement. Now you'll see here again, pausing both ends of the range and just really maximizing those ends to kind of get as much out of the set as possible, essentially. I like to opt for a close-ish leg position in both leg extension and hamstring curl. I do feel that that does prioritize the target muscle more efficiently. So I kind of on the hamstring curl, my adductors are almost touching, and here as well they're slightly wider, but fairly close together, and then I try to keep like my joints in line as well, which is important whenever you are training legs. So then we moved on to the hack squat, and you'll see here throughout the set I am giving myself a little whack in the stomach a few times, and that will make more sense later in the video as to why I'm doing that. But well, actually I think it's the set after this you will see. But basically I struggle with my brace sometimes, so I want to make sure my core is switched on, and sometimes giving yourself a little whack, not hard, not so it hurts, but just a little whack to make sure your abs are tight, your core is switched on. That works for me, or just switch your core on. But personally I do struggle with doing that at times, so I give myself a little whack in the stomach. And last night, by this stage, because I had done 3 sets of hamstring curls and 3 sets of leg extensions and abs and a little bit of cardio and all of that, by this stage in the session my legs were absolutely cooked. So I was trying to get as much out of these sets as I could, using a slightly lesser load than I normally would, but I do feel they were really beneficial in kind of just achieving that pump. And I got a great pump last night, like incredible pump. I feel like sometimes a little bit more volume can be helpful for that, but again, it's kind of finding the balance of what you can recover from, what you can progressively overload with, and also what you can get the most out of, essentially. So you have to sort of work out, okay, have I got 2 sets in me? Have I got 3 sets in me? How long is this going to take to recover? Am I going to progress the next time I perform this movement? I obviously having 4 days off, so I'm happy enough to take 3 sets here. I normally take 1 set here, but I have been kind of increasing that to 2. And that is the point in the video why I've been whacking myself in the stomach. My brace absolutely gone. I should have had extra reps there, and I basically just died intra-set. And I find in prep that is something that kind of occurs. So down to 2 plates for just a bit of a blood flow set. You'll see my time under tension isn't great here. My tempo is quite fast, but I don't mind that. I'm literally just getting the last out of these quads before moving on to the leg press. But I did find that this set was almost a bit junk volumey. The work wasn't great, and I did just kind of move on after it. I did as many reps as I could. It was like 17 or something. I probably could have done more if the environment was set up better. So, you know, if this was an actual normal set and I gave myself enough time, but I was also kind of flying through last night a little bit, and the brace was off. So 17 reps, and Maybe I'm wrong, somewhere around that. So into the leg press then, and this is one of my absolute favorite leg presses on earth, the Gym Leco. The amount of range of motion you can get out of this machine while still sort of being in a comfortable position, not like arching your back too much, not letting your kind of ass lift off the seat too much, is incredible. There is some adjustments to this particular one that I like. There's a seat belt on it, which keeps your hips down. And then you'll see again, I'm strapped into the machine, force output, and creating maximal force, as I've been over a few times. So yeah, you'll see the range I can get here is just great. And I really do find this machine is pretty good for loading your quads. At the end of the session, I do load it in the lengthened range because there's sort of two pins. You can go short or you can go lengthened, but I opted for the lengthened here. I feel that I got a lot out of it, even though my legs at this stage were just destroyed and ready to be finished. Fully pumped, as Sam Sulek would say. But yeah, I did a little set or two here. I did 2 sets here, I think, instead of 3. I'd done 3 for everything else, but by this stage it was just like diminishing returns. There's no point doing an extra set. It's going to be, crap essentially. So got this set done, and then it would be time for some arm work. So I think we are getting into that in the next clip. I am doing arms because I missed some of the session before because I was a little bit late, and also I'm not going to be training for a few days. So I thought I would just kind of amalgamate this session, make it a bit of a limbs session instead of just legs, and get as much out of it as I could before I rest. And I think this is the final rep. Yeah, it probably is. So yeah, my usual movement here is dual arm cable bicep curl, but it was Tuesday night and the gym was so busy. There were so many cables in our gym, but they were all taken. So I couldn't set up the dual arm bicep curl. So I jumped on this Nitrum bicep curl. And yeah, it's nice. It's a nice movement. Similar sort of somewhat to the dual arm bicep curl, except it is not as behind the back. So I was really focusing on the stretch and trying to get as much out of it as I do on the cable. I did get a pretty nasty pump from this machine, so it is something I'll maybe use in the future. It's just kind of positioning yourself in a strange way where I needed to literally lock my legs into the floor to stay in the machine in the position I wanted to be in, because I wanted to get max stretch. I do find that for arms, a lot of stretch is same as legs. It's like hamstrings, really, isn't it? We talked about that at the start. Biceps and hamstrings, they're similar functioning muscles. So that is kind of training them similarly. It helps, and it definitely helps me here. So I also had such severe body dysmorphia during these sets, because I was like, I barely ever film arms for YouTube, and my arms I'm quite unhappy with, if I'm honest. But I watched it, like I put the tank top on after legs, and I was like, I'm going to put my tank on because I'm going to get a decent pump and I want to see it. But I equally didn't want to film it because I didn't want to like show you guys my arms. But whenever I look back on them, they don't look awful. Like I've got a little bit of a bicep vein. Definitely something to work on in off season for me is arms, and always will be, because my arms don't respond too well to training. I am finding a bit of a better formula for training them now, in that I train them as often as I possibly can. And I also, take advantage of those ends of the range, spend time in the stretch, focus on kind of getting a pump. I do find the arms like maybe don't need to go all the way to failure, but just a lot of volume and getting close to failure. And as well as that, just enjoy the movements you do, because some of the time before I was like hating the arm movements I was doing. I think that does contribute to what your like growth potential is, essentially. So make sure you're enjoying your sessions, guys. Like, don't pick movements that you don't like. I like movements like this. I get a good pump. I like feeling the pump, and that is why I sort of go for these. So we finished off with a superset. I did rope tricep extension and rope bicep curl. This is just something to kind of finish off my arms for the evening. and then that would be the workout complete. But I did try to get some forearms done again, ran out of time. But yeah, this was the last movement. So you'll see here, rope tricep extension using the regular rope. I do prefer a longer one, but there wasn't really any available, and I normally just grab one of these because it is quite often that there's not a longer rope available, so I may as well just get used to the shorter rope. I like the longer rope because it allows you to get more range of motion and get your arms kind of past your hips instead of just stopping there. And this was promising. This shot was promising. So I watched this back and I was like, okay, maybe my arms are a little bit better this time around. Definitely got quite a good pump at this stage, and you can see some lines through my delts there, which I'm happy about as well. But yeah, really solid session. All in all, I enjoyed that one. It was a little bit different to my normal Tuesday session, but I wanted it to be because I wanted to kind of smoke myself before the deload, and that has been well and truly achieved. So here's me hitting some poses. This is going to be the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, please subscribe, and leave a comment if you want me to cover any topics, anything prep related in the future. We'll catch you guys later.